Hello again, year one. So today in maths, we are looking at this, another unit of time, another different way of measuring time. So let's remind ourselves of some of the ways. So we can measure time in years, months, weeks, days, hours, minutes, and seconds. Today we're going to be focusing on minutes and seconds. So let's remind ourselves of some facts. So first of all, we have a day, and a day is 24 hours. Then we have 1 hour, which is 60 minutes, and 1 minute, which is 60 seconds. So that number 60 is quite important for you to remember, okay? So we use clocks to tell us hours, minutes, and seconds. Let's remind ourselves a little bit about that, what we've been looking at this week. So it takes 1 hour for the big hand, the minute hand, to travel the whole way around the clock. So let's see, show that here. You can see that moving around. And remember, 1 hour is 60 minutes. And this minute hand has just moved 60 minutes around the clock. And we can even count on fives like we have done to show us that. So we've got 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 15 minutes, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 60. So 12 o'clock we started on and we've traveled 60 minutes, 1 hour around the clock. 60 minutes has taken us 1 whole hour from 12 o'clock to 1 o'clock, okay? Each minute, the big hand goes past another little mark. So each minute, that's 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, 4 minutes, 5 minutes, okay? All those little marks are minutes. And you can just see there, the clock's gone from 1 minute, okay? The small hand takes 12 hours to travel all the way around the clock. This hand tells us what hour it is. So is it 3 o'clock or 3:30? So 3 being the hour. Is it 12:30 or 12 o'clock? 12 would be the hour. Let's watch this clock move 12 hours around the clock. You can see it going the whole way around. The hour hand, the short one. On our clocks, the hour hand is the red one, okay? A little bit shorter. Okay. Some clocks also have another hand, which is really, really thin, and it moves very, very quickly. So sometimes it's hard to see. You'd have to look very closely. And that hand is called the second hand. And it counts to 60 basically as it goes around the clock, and it goes very, very quickly. So you'd see it ticking the whole way around the clock. See if you can spot one in your own clock in your house, okay? Each time this hand ticks past one little mark, it's been a second. So instead of a minute, when the other little skinny hand ticks around, that would be counted as a second instead. So 60 minutes and 60 seconds in a full spin. Okay, now, an hour is quite long. An hour is 60 minutes, and there's 24 hours in a day, and it takes about an hour to have one of our lessons in school, usually for you to listen to me on the carpet and then to go and do your work, and sometimes to bring your work over so I can check it. And by the time you've done all that, it's probably an hour or close to an hour, unless it's a really long lesson, okay? A minute is quite short. There are 60 minutes in 1 hour, so a minute is something you would take to do something quickly, maybe put your shoes on, write a sentence, fix your hair. And a second is really, really, really short. It's as short as the blink of an eye, or like a scratch of your head or scratch of your nose, or something like a smile, something that happens really, really super quick. Okay, so today we're going to learn about minutes. So a minute is 60 seconds. So minutes can be measured in lots of different ways. So people can be measuring a minute using a stopwatch, a clock, or a sand timer. We have a sand timer in class. It's the yellow one, and it's 3 minutes. Sometimes we use it for tidy up time, don't we? It's not that long, is it? It's not a huge amount of time, but it's not as quick as the blink of an eye. So the numbers on a stopwatch are before the 2 dots. So this stopwatch says 12.00, and you might think that looks like 12 o'clock on a digital clock, and that stands for 12 minutes, okay? The numbers after the 2 dots stands for the second, so that's 12 minutes and 0 seconds exactly. This stopwatch shows that 1 minute has passed. This other stopwatch shows that 0 minutes have passed and only 30 seconds, so half of a minute. Okay. We can use clocks to measure the time in minutes too. Each time the minute hand passes a small mark, 1 minute's passed. So let's see here. And we can also use sand timers, okay? They come in all different sizes. Obviously ours is a 3 minute one in class, but you can get all different ones. I think reception have a few bigger ones, don't they? A few bigger ones where the sand takes longer, so it is more minutes, okay? So I'm gonna move this on. So I'm gonna skip that. You guys are going to have this page to do, but I'm going to explain that in a minute. First of all, I want to talk about these cards, so I'm going to go up a little bit. Now, we're going to discuss some of these things and think about whether they take a minute, or sorry, whether they take a second, so they're like really, really quick, a minute, so 60 seconds, a little bit longer, or an hour, like about the same length as a lesson, or even a week, a very long time. So we'll just have a look at some of them. So I can see here that I have a blink, a sneeze, and a wave, and they're all really, really quick things. So I would say for them that you would measure them all in seconds because they happen really, really, really quick. Okay. Also, look, we have a trip that can happen really, really quickly, can't it? When you have an accident, scratch in your face, that can happen really quick, or just dropping something. So they would all take seconds long. Okay. There's a few more. Shiver could be very quickly, or a smile. Okay. Writing a sentence that would probably take longer than a minute. So we would measure that in seconds. We would say we'd measure that in minutes. It might take you a minute or even 2 minutes to write a sentence. It might take you a couple of minutes to brush your hair. So you would measure that in minutes. It might take you a minute to eat a biscuit or to fill your water bottle. It might take you a minute in the hall. And then we have some longer things here. Maybe painting a picture might take you an hour. Going doing your shopping might take you an hour. Walking your dog might take you an hour. Then we have some even longer things like growing a seed. That might take up to a week. Reading a book. If it's a big book, it could take you a long time. Decorating a room in your house, that might take you a few days or a week to do that, okay? So important to think about which different way you could measure things, whether it's a second, a minute, an hour, or even a week or a day. So let's have a little look at what you're doing. So what you need to do is get yourself a phone or a stopwatch or something where you can measure on. So I'm going to look at my phone here, and I have on my phone, I have a stopwatch. I also have a timer. I'm going to use a stopwatch. Okay, now remember, a minute is 60 seconds. So I'm going to press start here, and we're going to watch it go as it goes up to 60 seconds. That's this number in the middle. So we're on 3 seconds. And see how quickly those other ones going? We only need to concentrate in the middle. So we're going to watch that until it goes up to 60 seconds, and that will be a minute. So on 15, 16, you can hear each second, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, and so on, okay? And when that gets to 60 seconds, that is 1 minute. So you're going to find something like that to time yourself, okay? You're going to complete these challenges. So the first one says, choose an activity. How many times do you think you can do it in a minute? Use the minute timer to see if you are correct. Okay, so how many times do you think you can write your name in a minute? So get your timer. You can either go from 0 up to 60, or you can go on the phone. I'm just going to go to 1 minute. And it's going to start and count down from 60 seconds down to 0. And in that time, you're going to see how many times that you can write your name. But what you're going to do first is you're going to estimate. An estimate means a sensible guess. So I think in 60 seconds, I could probably write my name 10 times, okay? So I'll put that in there. Then I get my timer, and I'm going to get someone to press start. You might even press start yourself. Maybe get a whiteboard or something and start writing your name down and see what you actually get, and see if you can get your estimates quite close, okay? You don't change your estimate after. Keep your estimate the same. Work out what your actual result is. So you've got a couple of challenges to do. So how many of those names can you write in a minute? How many times can you write your own name? You also have how many star jumps do you think you can do in a minute? So do your estimate first, then time it and see. How many times do you can count to 10 in a minute? How many times do you think you can stretch up high and then stretch down and touch your toes in a minute? How many faces can you draw? I suppose it all depends how detailed they are. Build a tower of cubes. You might build a tower of Lego blocks. You probably don't have maths cubes at home. Sing happy birthday. Probably going to be able to sing that once or twice in a minute, aren't you? So anyway, that's one of your challenges. If you think that you become really, really good at working at estimating how many things you can do, have a go of one of these other challenges. So we're measuring things in seconds. So seconds, I'll give that an S for if it's really quick. Minutes for if it's 60 seconds or more. And hours if it's something really long. So we'll give S for seconds, M for minutes, and H for hours. And then you need to work out which thing is which. Now, let's have a look at some of them. We have Sleeping at night. Well, we all know we need quite a few hours sleep to get our energy levels up. So I'm going to put a H on that one. Because you're not going to go to sleep for a few seconds or a few minutes. That's not going to make you feel very good for school in the morning, is it? What about eating a piece of popcorn? One piece. I'm going to say seconds for that. Because one piece is going to be very, very quick. What about reading your book in school? It's going to take you a few minutes, isn't it? So I'm going to give that an M. So you can have a think about what the other pictures would get. Whether you think they would take a second, a couple of seconds, a minute, or an hour, what you would measure them in, okay? What would be the closest time you would measure them in? There's that. Then there's some more estimating things. How many times can you do these? Similar to the first ones. And then there's some really, really hard ones where you have to put in the missing words. So complete each sentence using seconds, minutes, or hours. So you've got your spellings of the 3 important words here. Seconds, minutes, hours, okay? We sleep for about 8 something each night. Well, we already said, when you sleep for quite a while. So 8 hours each night. It takes 30 something to wash your hands. You're not going to wash your hands for half an hour, are you? That'll be a big waste of time. 30 seconds to wash your hands, okay? So have a go of that. Try and complete the challenges and try and get good at estimating things. I'm sure you'll get better as you go along, okay? So enjoy that, and we'll be back with phonics soon, okay? Bye-bye.